And of course the black and white, Sampdoria in blue. And this is Julio Cesar, the Brazilian, who returned only a few weeks ago after a long-term injury, and he's, after a shaky start, settled in really well again. Dino Baggio scored twice in that second leg UEFA Cup final triumph. Now David Platt. 13 starts in Serie A this season for David. He's playing quite a few cup ties as well, though, so he has been employed throughout the term. And he will be wanting to impress today, in particular against Sampdoria, who are reported to be one of the sides interested in taking him on next season should he leave Juve. Away by Peruzzi, the goalkeeper of Juventus. This is Merla. Juve, who've lost only twice at home this season in Serie A, and that to the two Milan clubs, AC Milan and Inter, the top two in the top flight. Here's Baggio. Big piece of skill. Botticelli. Up forward by Carrera. Now Baggio. Biakavon with the intervention. This is young Sacchetti. Now then to Biakavon. Hard, ruthless defender. And back in favour with the national team at the moment. Ahead of Costa Curta of Milan. Bonetti. Here's Biakavon. Up by Invernizzi. Invernizzi again. Now that to Jugovic.
I think we can see straight away the pattern of the game. Peter Sampdoria are playing with the sweeper. There he is, Lana, and just sitting back and hoping to retain possession of the ball and hit Juventus on the break. I think we'll see Juve doing a lot of the attacking with the pace of Mancini and the likes of Lombardo joining in, trying to cause the main problem for Sampdoria.
Dino Baggio. Julio Cesar. Sweeper, the Juve side. A key role for Carrera here on the ball now with Jurgen Kohler out. When Kohler has been missing in the past, Juve haven't managed to win. Such has been his contribution to Juventus this season. Now Mancini. Bonetti. Sacchetti. Promising build-up here by Sampdoria with Jugovic.
That's a very crisp passing. It was good passing movement from Sampdoria, moving the ball very, very early, giving the player on the receiving end a lot of time on the ball once he gets there.
Laid off by Mancini. Lombardo. Now Mancini with a shooting chance. And a good save by Peruzzi. The danger hasn't passed, and it's a goal. Peruzzi beaten.
It's a fantastic goal as well. I think it's Jugovic who actually scores the goal. Yeah, Mancini did ever so well to get the shot in first off. As the ball rebounded to him, he whipped in a fabulous cross, and there's Jugovic breaking through the middle of the box to head in what was, in the finish, quite a simple header.
Tremendous start then by Sampdoria, who started so briskly. Mancini's shot there, beaten away by Peruzzi.
And here comes this terrific cross. Look at, there's a lot of pace on the ball, and there's Jugovic bursting through the middle with a simple header into the bottom of the goal. That's a great start for us. Juventus have been in fantastic form, so we'll have to see how they respond now.
Conte. Well, that has stunned the crowd in the stadium. The early strike by Jugovic, who'd scored only once in the last 11 games, but it's his 9th of the season. And you may recall earlier on, the coaches in Serie A voted him the best of the overseas newcomers.
Yeah, he has had a really good season. I think he's only 23 years of age, and to go in the Italian Football League and take it by storm as he has done, he's done really well. And for a midfield player, it's quite exceptional, the amount of goals that he's scored.
Mancini, whose endeavours led to the goal. Sacchetti. just 20 years old. This is Bonetti now, who does a sterling job for Sampdoria down the left flank. Now Lana. A real boost to Sampdoria's confidence. 4 away successes in the league so far this season, and they've had the best possible start in Turin. David Platt. Baggio. Always that buzz of expectation around the ground when Baggio has the ball. Now Vialli. He's been playing much better of late, Vialli, after a bit of a shaky spell. And there was talk that he might be going back to Sampdoria. That seems to have died down with his improvement in recent games. Julio Cesar. Bola. Julio Cesar again. On then from Platt. And this is Lana, the sweeper.
Recovery of injury of Cesar, I think I said it before, has been a major factor, I think, why Juventus have really picked up. He is a fabulous sweeper with 2 great feet. He joins in the play very well and sets off a lot of the attacking moves of Juventus. It doesn't, what it basically means that the likes of Baggio and Vialli don't have to come so deep to pick the ball up. They can receive it in the opponent's half because they're well aware that Cesar can bring the ball forward and use it to great effect.
Dino Baggio. Platt. Just held up then by Muller. Now Conte, who along with Baggio has been a real star on the Juventus side this season. They've been perhaps the 2 most consistent players. David Platt. Wide to Conte. Juventus retaining possession but not making too many inroads into the packed Sampdoria defence.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to break them down because they're obviously working very hard. They're all dropping into their own half. Picking up people man for man and making it very tough for Juventus. And I also think we can see the reason why David Platt hasn't really been selected that much. They're asking him to play in a much deeper role, where we, back in England, are used to seeing David breaking forward from midfield and getting on the end of things in the box. Here they're asking him to fetch and carry, which we would say really isn't his game. His game is bursting into the box, a la Jugovic, the way he scored. But David normally gets in on the end of those crosses.
Nonetheless, David Platt, I'm sure, just relieved to be in the side, wherever it might be. So anxious to make his mark in Italian football. This is Manini. Right back in the Italian national team, as well as for Sampdoria. Bonetti. Jugovic, the goal scorer. And it was Dino Baggio with a foot in there. Now Lombardo. Out by David Platt. Baggio. A good interception by Viercavon initially. It's Lombardo now. And just whipped away then by Conte. What an important intervention that was. Viercavon came marauding through.
That was great play from Viercavon. He actually won the ball outside the box. The ball was played wide and he continued his run. There he is on the top of the screen, bursting through the middle. A good ball from Lombardo. And super defending to get that away, because I'm sure Viercavon would have put that in with his head.
It's Jugovic with the corner. And Peruzzi off his own goal line. Here's Lana now. And Juventus reeling in this early phase. They could have gone further behind. Baggio. Here's Platt. Quick counter-attack here by Juventus, but it's Des Walker to the rescue for Sampdoria.
I think Sampdoria look a lot brighter. The game in midweek and the celebrations may well have taken a bit out of Juventus, and Sampdoria definitely started off a better side, defending very well, but also when they're in possession, moving the ball very quickly and very smartly amongst their players.
Well, it's certainly a very positive break by Sampdoria. 1 goal up already for any latecomers. Goal from Jugovic. with only 3 minutes played. We've had now 10 minutes of the first half.
It was actually a very fine save from Peruzzi with his feet. I think he expected the defender to head it away from the from the corner, and at the last minute it whips into the near post, and he did well to get his feet there and boot it away.
Here's Lombardo now. Now surely an offside. No, the flag stayed down. And well, Peruzzi scrambling across. Everybody looking towards the linesman, but there was no offside there. Maybe there was now. Mancini having a pot at goal.
That was marvellous vision from Mancini as well. He broke off the shoulder of the defender, realised that Peruzzi would be coming off to narrow the angle and try to dip in volley very, very early.
Conte. Excellent start by Sampdoria. Bonizzi to Manini. Now Lombardo. Looking more like his old self in the last few matches, Lombardo. Not a good run by him. It was Carrera with a header out. Lombardo, in fact, with 3 goals in his last 5 games. Now Roberto Baggio. Here's Vialli. Some exquisite touches from the pair of them in the UEFA Cup win in the week. And of course, the man on the ball we saw there, Dino Baggio, with a couple of goals. Pictures restored just in time as Nucciani goes down. That was more like it from Juventus. Your old pal in goal there, Nucciani. You remember him, Ray, from your Milan days?
Absolutely. It's great to see him playing as well. He's possibly one of the best professionals I've ever come across in my career. He hasn't played that much. I think it's something like 14 games in 9 seasons in Serie A. And there he goes. He's tipping that one past the post.
Sampdoria struggling to get the corner away. Eventually out by Vierkavod. As Juventus come back strongly now. Nucciani, who made that dreadful lapse at the start of last week's game, but then recovered with some excellent saves as Mancini tries to test out Peruzzi.
Yeah, being a bit cheeky there, Mancini. He could have stuck Jugovic through a lot earlier, but again, he thought he saw Peruzzi coming off the line to pick up the run of Jugovic and tried to lob it over his head. A bit ambitious there. We're getting back to Nucciari. Nucciari, 14 games in 9 seasons, only 4 starts this season. He really is a great professional, and it's nice to see him actually get a game at last. Last week he made an unbelievable blunder, which led to a goal, but I'm sure he'll be more than reliable if called upon.
Yeah, I was saying, Ray, he made some excellent saves as well after that to redeem himself. So he's kept his place in the Sampdoria side. Pagliuca, he will be out for 3 months or so. Carrera. Untidy tackle involving Des Walker and Vialli. Some shirt tugging, says Des.
Yeah, that was 6 of 1 and half a dozen. Des is picking him up, and he's picking him up very tightly as well. But Vialli had a little tug as well, but over he went. And as happens in most Italian games we see, he gets the benefit of the doubt. There it is, the ball coming in. They're both having a tug at each other. Actually started off in the box. Des was a bit fortunate. He didn't give a penalty there.
I don't think the offence was there. Anyway, it's a free kick to Juventus. Baggio, the architect here. Mancini back defending as well. The captain of Sampdoria. Baggio's free kick. Hit through and way over the top. Picked by Conte. But he's had a really fine season, Ray. He gives them width down that right side and has played as well as anyone, really.
Yes, he's done exceptionally well. An unsung hero, as it were, and it would have been nice to send Cesar on the end of this one. Conte isn't renowned for his goal scoring. Cesar does have a tremendous shot, and if he'd have been coming in from that sort of position, it was a good free kick. We may well have seen a different result.
Dana. This was gone for free kick for the punch in the face then on Mancini. Dimarchi, the defender.
I think if we saw free kicks given for that in our game, the game would never actually start, would it? That was nothing more than a bumper of two guys, and there we see a free kick given to Mancini. Slightly unfortunate, really, because the game should be allowed to flow when instances such as that occur.
Here's Lana. Now with Sacchetti. Regular in the Italian under-21 side, a really good prospect for the future. Of course, with Lana playing in the middle most weeks, it's meant Des Walker has been dropped because Sacchetti has been playing at left back, and it's really boiled down to a straight choice between Lana and Des Walker for the role alongside Bjerkevold.
It's a good afternoon for Des because he's been the one asked to pick up Vialli. We see Vialli here in the picture in front of us, Des making a great tackle there, but it's been Des that's been asked to pick up Vialli, and up to now he's doing a super job on it.
That's where he's at his best, Ray, isn't it? In a marker's role.
No question about it, yes. That's what he's there for, and he really is exceptional at it when asked to do so.
Here's Conte. Free kick to Juventus. Now on Baggio. That's how close in Venezia wants to be to Baggio. Shot charge down. Another free kick now. The referee. Well, has he given it? I think he has now. Vialli, who seems to have recovered his old zest.
Yeah, it's great to see as well. Vialli really is a super player, super character on a football field, and it's nice to see him back to his best. He had a great game in midweek. His movement off the ball is quite exceptional. There's the free kick again. I think Mancini was just a little bit too tight to him and shoved him in back. They only need the slightest touch and they'll go over him, as Vialli did so there.
Another opportunity then for Juventus. Trailing by a goal to nil. Real danger for Sampdoria. Baggio is there and Mola. There's Luciani. Baggio chips it in and the goalkeeper lost it. And he's got a second bite at the cherry and manages to fist it away as Platt went in there. Lombardo's header. Baggio almost twisted himself into a position where he might have had a crack at goal. And now the whistle has gone. Who has it? No. The referee has allowed play to go on there. Juventus throw. Well, there's certainly a Sampdoria player down and still is. Baggio taking on Lombardo. And now referee Petzela has brought back play.
Yeah, I think it's Mancini that's down. He was, as he brought the ball out, he just towed it past somebody and they caught him rather late. But that was, I don't think he fancied that bit of water in the face either. But that was super defending from Lombardo. Being a midfield player, it's not too clever when you're faced with someone with the ability of Roberto Baggio, and as he tried to go down him, round him the outside, Lombardo used all his defensive skills to block the passage way for Baggio. Now,
news of other goals today. We'll, of course, be keeping you in touch with those throughout the afternoon. Milan, incidentally, drew 1-1 last night away to Cagliari. Friday night, in fact, that was. So we'll be showing you the highlights of that a little later on. Fiorentina 0, Udinese 1 in a relegation battle in Serie A. Delanio with the goal there. And Ancona 1, Pescara 1. Pescara, the bottom club. Ancona is one place above them. Both already relegated. And the one goal here, scored by Jugovic after 3 minutes. This is Lombardo now. Sampdoria posing a lot of early questions. And Peruzzi so far has been a lot busier than he might have expected, I would think. Julio Cesar. Baggio has come deep to collect. This is Carrera.
Yes, I think he's coming deep now because it's so congested in the Sampdoria half that he's trying to find that little bit of space for himself to start manipulating the game, and he's not finding it in their half.
Won by Merla. approaching the halfway stage in the first half. Well, free kick to Juventus. Möller. Very useful from long range, Andy Möller. Sampdoria will be only too well aware he scored an equaliser, of course, in the first meeting between the two teams earlier in the season. Off goes Bonetti. It's good skill. Now Mancini. Vanini. This is Lombaro. Goes Mancini. Looking on Carrera. No foul. Interesting decision there.
It was an interesting decision, yes. I think we've seen Mancini have a pop at the referee a couple of times, and that definitely looked to be a foul, but the referee getting his own back on Mancini and not giving it. But it was good play from Mancini. He backed the defender up as if he was heading back to his own penalty area and then dipped inside two players. It was exceptional forward play.
Up by Walker. Then Manini. Now is that over the line? Yes, it's a Juventus throw. Taken quickly. They're showing plenty of urgency now, Juventus, in their efforts to pull back this single goal deficit. Conte. Dino Baggio. Here's Platt. Torricelli. Juve faced by a whole posse of Sampdoria defenders as they try to weave a path to goal. Conte with a shot charge down. On from Mancini. Nobody upfield though in support. Who scored his first league goals in Serie A a few weeks back. A double against Torino. Now Sacchetti. Bierkovan with Bonetti. Mancini. Mancini, of course, who's being kept out of the Italian national team by Roberto Baggio. He's really settled for that role now, Mancini. At least he says, I know where I stand now. They regard him really as the 12th man who can always come on when Baggio isn't around.
He's not a bad guy to have about, is he? Sitting on the bench, absolutely wonderful talent, and they are really sport for choice, the Italian team. To have Baggio and Mancini vying for one position is a very strong position to be in. Both very talented players. Mancini, I think, has had a magnificent season in a time of reconstruction for Sampdoria. He's been absolutely brilliant, and the majority of the games we've seen him play, he really has entertained us.
Foul by Des Walker on Vialli, and he is sticking very, very tightly to Vialli as Des, and he just kicked his legs away there.
Vialli's not going to enjoy playing against Des because Des is so fast. He's not going to get that yard that he wants.
Baggio whipping it over, safely into the arms of Luciari. News that Roma have scored at home to Atalanta today. And that's Giannini, the captain of Roma, who has given his team the lead. Roma in 10th place in Serie A. Now Bonetti. Is Mancini. Holds it up so well. Little niggling tackle though by Roberto Baggio. Very promising start by Sampdoria. It's all going to plan so far. Bonetti. In Bonizzi. And offside against Mancini. Is Baggio. Ibaki. Baggio wanting to direct the operations for Juve. Sacchetti, or throw to Juve. Seen because of wild euphoria. Of course, hit Turin earlier in the week with their third UEFA Cup triumph. First title they've won since 1990. They also won the UEFA Cup that year, along with the Italian Cup. Nothing since. And their last title was way back in '86, in Trapattoni's first spell in charge. Last league title, that is. Now Juventus are going to make an early switch here. Canio is coming on, and they're going to take off Di Marchi. Didn't spot any injury there, Ray, did you?
No, I think the fact that Sampdoria only playing with the one-up, Trapattoni's decided that he wants to put a bit more pressure on Sampdoria. They only need the 2 or 3 defenders to take care of the Sampdoria player up front. So he wants to change it round, and tactically he's brought on Di Canio, who really can take defenders on and whip balls in, as we've seen on many occasions.
Got a good response from the crowd too, who obviously hold him in high esteem. Di Canio, certainly a match winner on his day, and
he's a very exciting, talented character, Di Canio. He can take people on all over the field.
Merla with the corner.
Knowing the way Trapattoni likes his teams to play, he won't be too happy. They're not playing with the tempo that they like to play, or he likes his teams to play. They're allowing Sampdoria, as we'll see now, they'll pick the ball up here, they'll make half a dozen passes, and he won't be too happy that they're not putting pressure on the ball. Here we go, very leisurely for Sampdoria. They're a goal up, they don't really need to force the play, but there's no pressure being put on them at all, and Trapattoni won't be too pleased about that.
Sampdoria free kick, or the foul on Jugovic, whose goal separates the two teams. News that Ruben Sosa has scored for Inter, hoping to keep up pressure on Milan at the top. Inter home to Foggia today. And a goal from the Colombian Asprilla has given Parma a head start away to Genoa. Now Jugovic with the free kick then for Sampdoria. Not a bad effort either. Well played by Baruzzi.
My word, he hit that well, Jugovic. He really is a talented chap, and that was a good free kick from there. He's saw Baruzzi sort of edging out to take a cross, and there he goes. He whacks it into the near post, and Baruzzi made a good save.
Long searching pass from Baggio, which had Vialli chasing, but Des Walker was there, and it's really right up Des's street, this game. Trapattoni none too happy at this stage.
No, he's not a happy chap, and we did see one of Des's attributes there. That ball hit diagonally for Vialli, but Des was after it like a shot, and as the Nottingham players or the supporters would say, you'll never catch Des Walker. He absolutely left him standing.
Free kick to Sampdoria. Taken by Lana. On from Mancini, just a flicks then. Julio Cesar covering. Placed by Jugovic. Bonetti, Mancini, in goes Platt. Won it well too. Now Merla, chance to show his pace. Canio offside, maybe not Baggio, maybe Vialli down here.
Yes, but it was good defensive play by Viekarud and Lana. Lana staying slightly deeper, realising he's the last guy, just stepped up as the ball was about to be played. I don't think it was Baggio, but definitely one of them was offside, so it was good defensive football from Sampdoria.
In Bonizzi with the pass to Manini. Chance for Manini and Sacchetti on the other flank to surge forward when the occasion arises, with Sampdoria operating the sweeper system today. I think the referee was reaching for the yellow card, indeed. Caution for Invernizzi. A little harsh, I thought, maybe?
Yes, I thought a little harsh as well. It was good control, actually, from Muller. The ball was really smashed into him, and he pulled it down instantly. There we see the control. Possibly too good. It got stuck in his feet, and Invernizzi was in like a little terrier there. And by having looked at the replay, yes, I think he should get booked. He definitely took the player instead of the ball. But in watching it in normal pace, you wouldn't have said so.
Dino Baggio. Pereira. Roberto Baggio. Almost found a little bit of space for himself, Roberto Baggio. But it all comes to nothing.
Yeah, almost found a bit of space. I think that is the Juventus first half. Almost did this, almost did that. They brought Di Canio on to stick him wide on the right-hand side, and they actually haven't got a ball into him yet. They need that bit of width, because the way Sampdoria are playing, they're actually bottling up the middle of the field. They won't allow those little give and goes that Vialli and Baggio like to play. So Trapattoni's brought Di Canio on to give him a bit of width, but unfortunately they haven't been able to get the ball out to him yet.
Half an hour gone. Sampdoria still leading by a goal to nil. This is Mancini. Excellent pass too from him. In by Sacchetti. And the header just snaking wide from Lombardo. Really good effort.
That was great football, great passing, great movement off the ball. And the final passing from Jugovic with the outside of the right foot was a peach. And had Lombardo had a bit more hair, that might not have skidded off and gone past the upright.
You'd have had another 20 goals too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, mine would have gone a lot wider than that.
Dino Baggio, who saved his goal-scoring form for the cup competitions this year. He's got 9 in cup ties, only 1 in the league.
Yes, if you look at his performance, it really hasn't been anything of that of his midweek performance. He really hasn't got into the game, and he's found it very tough to get going. His shirt's already outside his shorts. Maybe he's feeling the pace of the not only the match but the celebrations during the week as well.
So Sampdoria pressing again. Mancini going nowhere though. And out by Conte. The kick taken quickly to Baggio. This is Roberto. Now Vialli. Merla. David Platt. Dino Baggio. Juve fans just becoming a little impatient now. Their team's efforts to break Sampdoria down, but it certainly isn't easy for them. Torricelli. Platt.
There's no way to go through the middle. They've got to try and get some width into the game. We can see Di Canio right at the top of the picture, and he's the guy that they really do need to try and get the ball to. He's out there, he's prepared to give them that bit of width, but they must give him the ball. I'm sure if they do, he could cause the damage that they need.
Old Popeye's down there, Lombardo. Popeye as he's known. In the meantime, just another piece of goal news to bring you. And Fiorentina are in big trouble against Udinese. They're 2-0 down at home. Branco's got the second goal, a former Fiorentina player. And Sosa, I'm told, has missed a penalty, a twice taken penalty for Inter. Chance to increase their lead at home to Foggia. Sosa, who scored the first goal there. That was his 19th of the season. Now Lombardo okay, so Jugovic can take this free kick then for Sampdoria, who will be well satisfied with the way the first half has gone thus far. On by Sacchetti. Harmlessly through to Peruzzi. In Bonizzi. Lombardo's gone on a surging run through the middle. He's got Mancini out wide too, and the flag's up for offside.
And that looked really close. Mancini made a great run pulling off the shoulder, but Invernizzi was just a fraction late in delivering the pass, and when he did, I actually thought he was still onside, in line with the defenders. Obviously the linesman and referee are in a better position than me.
Julio Cesar. Vialli trying to shake off Des Walker. Now Roberto Baggio. In goes Walker again, crunching into the tackle.
He's done really well, Des, hasn't he? Vialli's breaking off on all sorts of angles, but Des is stuck with him the whole time, and this is a great game for him to have as regard the England games coming up pretty shortly.
And all the transfer speculation that's going on, of course, over Des's future. Various English clubs now linked with him. Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds among them. And Tottenham too.
And I'm sure there's many more. He's a very, very talented player, and I'm sure there's a lot of other European sides that would like to have his services.
Play on, says the referee. Julio Cesar is still down. And well, Juventus settling for the ball being kicked out so that he can have some attention. With 10 minutes of the first half to go. Some concern over Julio Cesar, who had this long spell out with a broken leg earlier in the season. Also a problem for Jugovic.
Looks a harmless sort of tackle. Cesar just ducked inside and went over his leg. I can't really see where there'd be too much of a problem for either player.
Jugovic, the former Red Star player from Belgrade. Oh, Julio Cesar back on his feet, so hopefully no ill effects there. Jugovic not looking so happy. Certainly made an impression, though, Jugovic in his first season in Italy. Fischer wondering, Katanec, the Czechoslovak, the Yugoslav rather, is former Yugoslav, is out injured at the moment, so not able to feature in the Sampdoria side. Now Di Canio. Guerrero with the throw for Juventus. Julio Cesar certainly seems to be okay. Not out easily though by Lombardo. No mistake has let Baggio in. Now Vialli. Botticelli battling for it well. Vialli with Walker inevitably right behind him. Conte threading it on. No flag this time. Vialli whipping over the cross. Out by Lana. Julio Cesar. Vialli. Now Dino Baggio. It's still proving a struggle for Juventus. For all their possession, not too many clear-cut openings so far for them. Thanks to some solid defending by Sampdoria. There's Merla. And this time the whistle has gone for a free kick.
Yes, the way Sampdoria are playing, obviously with five at the back, it enables Sacchetti and Manini to really push forward, and Sacchetti's doing a good job on Di Canio. They've played him a couple of passes now. And he's the guy, I think, that could open up Sampdoria. But Sacchetti pushes right down on him because he knows he has the assurance of having three guys behind him.
Now, Botticelli. Well, it was half a chance. The young man who not so long ago was playing semi-professional football for his switch to Juventus, a dream move for him.
Yes, I think as we see the ball coming over, his first touch seems to get a little bit under his feet as the ball lands to him, and he can't get it out. Consequently, he doesn't have the confidence in which to have a blast at the goal. He'd have been far better off having a shot, but I think his first touch let him down slightly.
Another corner then to Juventus. Taken by Di Canio. No, Nucciari didn't go for the crossing. Didn't need to, though. All Juventus at the moment. Baggio. Can they find a way through? Nucciari comes out well and collects it confidently, too. That will do him some good, right?
Yes, that was a good take, wasn't it? That's, what, 12, 13 yards out of goal. That's a good take for him. But that was a bit better from Juventus. They found a bit of width on the wide, and they managed to get in a good cross. And it was Roberto Baggio in on the end of the cross.
Long ball from Julio Cesar for Roberto Baggio to chase. Nini is there with him. Canio. Flat. Now Conte. Again, Sampdoria hanging on at the back, defending grimly.
Two great challenges from Viekovic. The ball come through the first time and he blocked the shot. The second, as the ball rebounded out to the edge of the box, there he was again, flying out. I've really shown all the experience of what a truly superb defender he is.
34 years old now, Pietro Viercovod. But he's lost none of his defensive stability, and certainly none of his determination. Well up. Blatt to Baggio. And the other Baggio going in, but denied by Manini. And no problem for Luciani. Frustration for Juventus, for Vialli in this first half, after the early flourish from Sampdoria that produced the goal.
Yes, I think you've hit it right on the head with that final pass there, Peter. They are a bit frustrated now. There's no way through the middle of the defence. Sampdoria defending very well indeed, and that just brought about that hasty hoof forward, and I didn't even see who it was that hoofed it forward, but it wasn't what Trapattoni would want anyway.
Julio Cesar. Now Torricelli. Here's Carrera. To Conte. That harassed by Invernizzi. Now Julio Cesar, player of immense strength. When he does come forward, he can always be a menacing figure. Torricelli. Baggio, how quickly he was confronted then. Merla to Vialli. And it squirms away for the corner. Juventus hoping to prize an equaliser before half-time. Merlo to take the kick. And free kick given to Sampdoria for an infringement inside that penalty box.
Yes, an unnecessary one really. He's just pushed him in the back and given away an unnecessary free kick. They've actually had a corner, and now he's let Sampdoria off the hook. It's a bad challenge. It's a nice little bit of respite there for Sampdoria coming up to half-time.
Viercovod. Bonetti.
It was a bit of a lacklustre performance from Juventus. They do look out of sorts after their adventure in midweek. But full credit to Sampdoria, they've taken the game by the scruff of the neck when they've had the opportunity. Defended magnificently well, and not given any opportunities to the likes of Vialli and Baggio. And I think the way they've approached the game, they deserve to be the goal up at half-time.
2 minutes to the break. Julio Cesar. As Torricelli wide. That inside him. Now Dino Baggio. Conte couldn't make it. Sacchetti in very quickly. And the counter-attack could be on for Sampdoria. Mancini was brushed aside by Dino Baggio. Sampdoria free kick.
I think we saw on the Channel 4 programme yesterday, Ericsson talking about Mancini being a bit selfish at times, playing for himself. You know, Sacchetti had intercepted a great ball there. He burst forward and continued his run, and he made a good run where I thought Mancini might have picked him out again, but he wanted to do something himself. And if he does have a problem, I think it's that Mancini. He prefers to play for himself at times, more so than the side.
Bonetti scrapping for it with Merlo, who comes off best. Torricelli's pass into the last minute of the first half. Dino Baggio again adjusts the culprit. The foul on Jugovic. Kick taken by Invernizzi to Manini. Julio Cesar. Now Lombardo. One back by Torricelli. Vialli. Torricelli. Now Merla has tremendous acceleration when he has the space. Here's Roberto Baggio. Conte made the run through the middle. Di Canio. a spectacular effort by Vialli, but way over the top.
And we've seen him score on before as well. That was he shapes up very early to take it, Vialli, and it was really the only way that he was going to get a first-time effort on goal. He couldn't wait for it to drop on the head, so his shape was perfect for the overhead kick, but just mishit it.
Certainly hasn't been as sharp in front of goal this season, Vialli. A spell of 14 matches without a goal till his recent strike in the 4-2 win over Foggia.
Yeah, I think we can basically say that Vialli's, for his standards anyway, has had a poor season. Only of late has he really picked up and started to show the form that got him into the international side.
And interestingly, of course, has now been overtaken by Mancini in the Serie A goal charts. Good work by Lana. Very strong defender, and certainly still in Arrigo Sacchi's plans for the national team.
That's when it's a bit heartbreaking for the lone forward. You see Mancini there, he's battling away, he's after the loose ball that's been pumped forward, and when he turns around and hopes someone's going to be backing him up, the ball just bobbles around, and Sampdoria all sitting back in their own half, just prepared to take the one goal in at half-time.
Cross from Carrera. The free kick given in favour of Sampdoria, deep into injury time. No joy in this first half for Vialli so far, and much credit to Des Walker for the tracking job that he's done on him. Now Lombardo. A rugged challenge, to put it mildly, then from Torricelli. Mancini with the free kick. Can't be too much of the first half to go now. Taken quickly by Bonetti, in fact, now then to Mancini. And by his standards, that was a pretty poor cross.
I think he knew that the half-time whistle was going to go in his second there, Peter. That was a poor cross by his standards. He really does have great feet, and that was a poor delivery for him.
So the first half belongs to... It's Inter 1, Foggia 0. Foggia, who aren't yet safe. Inter, of course, chasing Milan at the top. Ruben Sosa with a goal, his 19th of the season, and he's also missed a penalty. It's Napoli 0, Torino 0, and Roma 1, Atalanta 2. Giannini for Roma, Alamao and Perrone with the goals for Atalanta. Atalanta chasing a UEFA Cup place, and confirmation of the result of the match on Friday. Cagliari 1, Milan, the leaders 1, to stretch their lead at the top. Ray Wilkins, how do you think Juve might turn this round?
Well, I think first and foremost, Trapattoni won't be at all happy with the way that they played in the first half. I'm quite sure they'll try and put a lot more pressure on Juventus, onto Sampdoria when they have possession of the ball. And let's hope they do a bit more attacking on the wide of the pitch. They haven't really got much width in their play, and when they have got there, the balls really haven't been good enough coming in. So let's hope they change that, start whipping a few balls in, and hopefully we'll see David Platt, our own David Platt, bursting through the middle, perhaps equalising in what was a pretty disappointing first half, but I'm sure it'll pick up in the second.
Here's Lana. Out by Di Canio. Sampdoria, who started the first half in such brisk fashion, scoring once, now a couple of opportunities too, and they've restricted Juventus to, well, practically no chances at all in the first half. Such has been their organisation at the back around Viercovod, and of course Des Walker, who's played Vialli so well. Roberto Baggio. Di Canio. There's Platt.
Yes, I think you're dead right there, Peter. Tactically, I'm sure they've gone out and played exactly the way that Eriksson wanted them to have played, hitting Juventus on the break and defending very stoutly at the back. And that's the way I'd want them to go about it, because they definitely need points to gain that UEFA zone.
Promising run by Di Canio curtailed. Di Canio, the former Lazio player who's been in and out of the side this season. He's played a fair amount in recent games, and here's a chance for Vialli. And it was Invernizzi so quickly in with the tackle. Really good defending then.
Great awareness from Di Canio. Got the ball down early, just nipped it over the top, and Vialli took his time, or far too much time, in striking ball on goal, and a great challenge from Invernizzi.
It'll be Merla with the corner. contest for Nucciari, having to shield his eyes from the sunlight too. Driven back in by Baggio, and it's Platt! Well, he must have heard you, Ray. David Platt responds with the equaliser for Juventus just 2 minutes into the second half. A really clinical finish by David.
He hasn't really been in the game at all, Peter, and Baggio with a great bit of ability on the edge of the box. A poor shot, but as it nips through, David one touch. I'm sure he uses his eyes on Nucciari, looking into this corner and then swings it into the far side for a great finish. And it was nice to see David get on the score sheet as well. A bit of confidence for our World Cup games coming up. Yeah, a nice smile.
Well,
We've not seen too many of those.
From David Pleat. David Platt. I expect from David Pleat as well.
I'm sure there was a smile from David Pleat. That was an exceptional bit of finishing from Dave.
I'll have David Pleat on the phone now. First time he scored a goal in Italy. Here's Carrera. Well, that really will be a lift for David Platt. We've been disappointed that he's played in this small negative role by Trapattoni. Well, he showed him there what he can do when he goes forward.
Yes, I think the thing with David Platt, once he gets forward, he very rarely misses the target, and that's vitally important. He always hits the target. And Andy Sinton was telling me that in England training, when he's in shooting practice, he very rarely misses the target. And we saw that was a very clinical finish.
Bonetti. Platt. Botticelli couldn't make it. Good interception then by Manini. Here's Lombardo. Manini sprinting away from him. And Mancini very disappointed that the pass was not forthcoming. He's not a good enough one. Baggio. There should be a new zip to Juve's gate now, having got themselves back on level terms. Conte. Di Canio. Going to go past Sacchetti. Now Merla. The free kick given to Sampdoria.
I get the impression Mr. Trapattoni wasn't at all happy at half-time. They've come out, although I know they've scored and they're bound to be a lot more confident, but they've definitely picked up their game and they're putting Sampdoria under a lot of pressure now.
I'm sure a few biting words from Trapattoni at half-time. So far, they've done the trick. Goes Vialli, policed by Des Walker. Theatrical dive by Vialli. That won't convince any referee.
No, he was never going to get a free kick there. Des defended well against it.
Invernizzi to Mancini. Lovely skill then by Mancini. Now Bonetti. Mancini again. And Lombardo is offside.
Yes, it was an exceptional piece of skill from Mancini, but it was also the ideal opportunity to see how to use your body as well, without using it illegally. He held the defender off just by using his arm and his body. It was very good play.
Di Canio. Careless pass. Picked up by Manini. Off goes Lombardo. Well read though by Julio Cesar.
And there's another perfect example, Peter. That was marvellous defending. Absolutely terrific defending, and he brings the ball away as well. He really is a talented player, Cesar.
We talk about the millions paid for players out in Italy. He costs just, well, a snip really, £100,000 from Montpellier in France.
My goodness, that would be a snip, wouldn't it, in Italian football? And he really does look the part. Very composed on the ball, and as we saw there, terrific defender.
Conte. Platt. Now Baggio. Canio. Vialli with the throw. Merla. Here's Baggio. Platt is forward again. So too was Di Canio. This is Vialli. To Merla. Dino Baggio. Roberto, oh, exquisite skill again. Canio couldn't force his way through. What a moment to admire then from Roberto Baggio.
He really is a very talented player, isn't he? He actually knew Manini was going to get nowhere near that ball, just lets it run, flicks it through his legs. Now, I know Eriksson said he didn't want to mark him man for man, but now Juventus has got back in the game, he's really come to the fore and he's just hit a couple of really good passes. And it might be advisable for him to start looking to put someone on him for 5 minutes.
Mancini trying to get away from Carrera. Didn't have the pace though. A well-timed tackle by Carrera.
That's brilliant defending from Carrera. Doesn't commit himself, doesn't go to the floor and take himself out the game. He stands up, he knows he's got the pace to stay with Mancini and just bides his time so he can get in there and make the tackle. Very good defending.
And a lively start to the second half. Wide by Di Canio. Plenty of movement. Roberto Baggio with the layoff to David Platt, the goal scorer. Jugovic. Now Mancini. Seeking out and finding Lombardo. Jugovic had made the run into the box. Too easy though for Peruzzi. And away come Juventus with Merla. Dino Baggio. Tony wants to join in.
I'm sure he would give an half a chance as well. You see the enthusiasm that this guy has. It's quite unbelievable. You know, he just won the UEFA Cup on Wednesday, but he's not content with that. He wants to win this league game. That's the important thing for him. He's out there showing the players what he actually wants, and good for him.
David Pleat's playing Washington Tony.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
I've made Pleat his day. Jugovic. Mancini. Lombardo made the run for him. Nearly found too by the vision of Mancini. But here's Torricelli. Canio. It's a clumsy tackle. The referee decides a fair one. He's blown the whistle. And the players have heard him. Gascoigne, incident, is playing for Lazio today, but they're now a goal down away to Brescia, and it's Sabal, the Romanian, who has given his team that first goal. And there's a hat-trick for Agostini for Ancona. They're now 4-2 up in the battle of the bottom two, the Adriatic derby against Pescara. Jump by Lana. Canio. Lana again is there. Commanding figure at the back today, Lana. Now Bonetti. Here's Mancini. We've got 4 up here. 5 with Jugovic. And this has gone for the free kick.
Yeah, as you saw there, Lombardo made a fantastic run there for Mancini. But instead of sticking him in, he decided to take a few on, but he does have a lot of good runners for him. Jugovic makes good runs. Lombardo made it. There's that run. You can just see Lombardo in the top of the picture, and I think he could have squeezed him through, but he decides to take him on. I'm sure if he looked for a lot of players, he does have that creative ability to pick people out, and I'm sure he'd create a lot more chances.
Foul was by Carrera. Peruzzi organising the defensive wall ahead of him. No joy for Jugovic. Bonetti. And a complete miscue.
Yes, he won't be too happy with that. Bonetti, he's got an exceptional left foot. He may be better off taking a touch and attempting to get a better sort of cross in. He was only going to volley that high anyway if he did get it into the box, and that would have given Peruzzi a good opportunity to come out and collect.
Conte. offside. Bonetti. Running by Jugovic. Offside. Again, Mancini always looking for an opening. Always looking for something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, again, that was a great run from him, which Jugovic picked him out with. Jugovic, should I say, picked him out with. He started on the wide and then just flashed across the front of his marker and attempted to get in on the blind side.
Di Canio. Maggio. Julio Cesar. Maggio. Good work by Di Canio. Now can he get away from Sacchetti? Very nearly. It took three of them to stop him. Including Bjerkevod. Now Bonetti. Something of a wild lunge at him. Merla and Manini swapping opinions. Yellow card for Merla.
Did look a bit of a careless challenge from Merla. And I think we saw in the first half when Venezia was booked, I think it was a similar sort of challenge. And the referee deciding it was worth a yellow card. May well have been.
Our friends from Italian television deciding we need to see that one again. Lana. Looking for Mancini. Here's Platt. Now Conte. Cleverly done. Merla. Bonetti got a foot in though. Defending tigerishly Sampdoria. And expecting, I would think, something of an onslaught in the second half from Juventus. It's quite turned out that way so far. They are right back in the game thanks to David Platt's goal. Thanks to Wilbur, and it's the first meeting between the two teams earlier on in the campaign.
Yes, I think Sampdoria will be quite pleased actually for the way the game has gone since the Juventus goal. They withstood a bit of a surge from Juventus, and now the game has calmed down a little bit and they seem to be getting themselves back in the game a bit more. But I'm sure if Juventus can actually up the tempo as they did when they first came out, we could see a lot more goal-mouth action. Let's hope this man takes... yeah, that's right, he's taking a bit of a clump there, Baggio. Manini marking him very tightly, they're having a bit of a push and a shove. And let's hope he continues to play, because he definitely has the inventiveness to make it a very exciting second half. I think he'll be okay.
His first success, of course, when Juventus picked up the UEFA Cup in the week. Baggio, for all his status in the game, hadn't won anything before. And his euphoria was there for all to see with those lovely shots of him when he collected the trophy for Juventus. And euphoria for Effenberg, the German, who has now equalised for Fiorentina. He's got both goals, in fact, there. It's 2-2 against Udinese. What a contrast in fortunes for him this week, Effenberg. The fans had set on him a few days ago, and there was talk of him moving into a hotel, I think, and leaving the club as soon as he could. Well, that's his reply. He's come back with 2 goals. His team fighting to stay in Serie A along with Udinese.
Yes, and I think that just about sums up the sort of pressure that foreign players are on in Italy. If things don't go well for them, they're bought to be something special, the foreign player. And if things don't go right for the team, they're normally the first to be picked on. And Effenberg has really shown a lot of character. I think his first goal was a penalty, so that was 2-0 down, and he stepped up and smashed in a penalty to take it to 2-1. And now, good show for him. He's gone and shown them what he's made of by equalising. Great stuff.
Julio Cesar. By Sacchetti, finding Bonetti. Mancini. Lombardo now. Invernizzi. This is Mancini. Lombardo had made the forward run. Juve having to retain their concentration at the back. Jugovic. Patient build-up by Sampdoria. And it'll be Jugovic with the throw. Now Invernizzi. Julio Cesar. It's Platt. Julio Cesar.
What a great shot that was, wasn't it? Such a big chap, but he's got marvellous feet for a defender. Great composure. It's lovely to see him do that right in front of the camera.
Di Canio denied a passage to goal. Dino Baggio. No foul. On they go, says the referee. Despite the frantic appeals from the Juve players. Benetti to Mancini. Juve can start again now with Di Canio. Platt. Conte in well. Sampdoria, of course, from Genoa, and the other Genoa club, Genoa themselves, have now equalised at home to Parma. Padovano with a penalty. Genoa with problems down near the foot of the table. Parma wind up there in third place.
And Manini getting the yellow card.
Now the referee will want that taken again. Manini cautioned. Game without a goal now has one. Napoli have scored against Torino, and it's Policano against his former club. "20 minutes into the second half. Chance for Juve to conjure something up here with Baggio's mercurial skills. Test for Nucciari. Still keep in touch with him, right?
No, I used to up to a couple of years ago before he moved to Sampdoria, but
Baggio's cross in.
Consequently, telephone numbers change and what have you. I haven't been able to keep in touch with him.
You've got X directory, and I expect you to reverse charge anyway.
I think you got it right.
Too long for Baggio. Marginal. Nucciari leaving the goal kicks for Lana.
There's a player's eye view of playing in this magnificent stadium. Look at it, it's absolutely superb.
Sampdoria throw. Taken by Jugovic. This is Invernizzi. Now Lombardo. Donicelli is there with him. Sacchetti. Referee allowing Sampdoria the advantage. Now they have to settle for the throw as there is an injury. Bonetti in trouble. Just a reminder, at the end of the programme, we'll be showing you the goals from the Cagliari-Milan match played on Friday. That stretched Milan's lead at the top to 5 points, but Inter leading today, so that would bring it back to 3. Should Inter stay on to win. There's the tackle by Vialli on Bonetti.
That was good work from Vialli. He's chased him a long way and got in a good tackle. It's a bit better from Juventus as a whole. They're starting to put pressure on Sampdoria when they're in possession of the ball, and that's what was lacking in the first half and for quite some periods in the second half.
Julio Cesar. Just giving the ball back to Sampdoria, who of course had knocked it out of play, enable the injured player to receive attention. Well, that was a shocking pass from Julio Cesar. I think I was right the first time.
I think he was right the first time.
Lana. Again, Vialli was chasing back at him. Now Bonetti did well to keep that in.
Yes, he did do well.
He's forced the corner.
Yeah, that 9 looked a lost cause, and Bonetti was after it like a shot. But again, it was good defending from Conti, blocking him out, and we give Sampdoria the corner,
which Jugovic will take. Juventus with the upper hand in terms of corners, but it's all square, one apiece. What really matters, the question of goals.
Yes, and with corner kicks like that, we're not going to see too many. I think I've mentioned it before on this programme, it's unbelievable when you think the amount of class players that they do have in the Italian football. They don't work on dead ball situations. As we've seen there, the corner was rather poor. It wasn't really aimed, I don't think, for anybody. It was just sort of whipped into the middle. We are, I think, far in advance of the Italians as far as a lot of set plays are concerned.
Conte to Julio Cesar. Conte. Now Pereira. Oh, showed too much of that to Jugovic. It's Platt, though. Well held up by Di Canio. Juve returning possession. With 20 minutes to go. Carrera. Well, one in the air by Lana. They need a spark of imagination, Ray, to Juventus to find a way through now, I think.
Yes, that's right. The game has gone a little bit dead. It might need the introduction of our friend Ravanelli, who was a very exciting big chap up front. He'd also give them another option. They would actually be able to sling balls in because of his height, and he likes to get on the end of things. But he's also an exciting player outside the box, as we saw a couple of weeks ago with a thunderous left foot shot when they went on to win 3-0, and Ravanelli had a very good 20 minutes. I think it just needs that spark. I think you're dead right, Peter. The game does seem to have gone a bit dead, and possibly the introduction of him will create it.
Bonetti arguing with Merla. Bonetti taking the throw. Merla's pass to Carrera. Now Julio Cesar. Up by Manini. Vierkavon on then. Picked up by Merla. Here's Platt. Almost got through. He still might. Well, it was a good chance in the end for David Platt, and the sort of opportunity that he often accepts too.
Yes, he did really well. He played the 1-2, got a bit of fortune with the rebound. I think he was looking to stick it over the top of Nucciara as he came out, but obviously it wasn't high enough. But that's a bit better. It was a great ball from Merla, which actually started off the move, and David followed it up and actually got the shot in on goal.
Manini. Jugovic. Bonetti. This is Lana. On by Bonetti for Mancini. A lovely pass back into Lana now. And just brushed aside by Julio Cesar. And off he goes. Juve on the counter-attack. Vialli. Looking for Baggio. And knocked out of the air with great block by Luciani.
Yeah, it was a great build-up from Mancini there, that ball inside to Lana. Lana's no small guy, he's a big chap, and Cesar just brushed him aside like taking sweeties off a baby, really. And rather wasted pass from Vialli trying to pick out Baggio.
Bjerkavon. Lombardo. Easily cut out by Conte. Total breakdown of communications there from Sampdoria.
Well, that was pretty dreadful stuff, wasn't it? Lombardo breaking infield there. He's got tremendous pace. He got him better off continuing his run, but he's given him an atrocious pass into the forward play. I think it was Jugovic.
Looks as if Gazza's team, Lazio, are going to end up without a point today. They're 2-0 down now, away to Brescia. And it's Hagi getting the second goal. So two of the Romanians have scored for Brescia today. Sabao with the first, Hagi with the second. This is Merlo, the German. Now then to Baggio. Vialli ahead of him, still Baggio. And brave goalkeeping by Luciani.
That's brilliant goalkeeping. Baggio taking on Bjerkavon there, and Luciani read it superbly well as he dragged it by the side of Bjerkavon. He's taken, I think, a boot on the nose. It's a very brave piece of goalkeeping. I think he's taken one in the face for all his troubles.
Well, we saw there suddenly the devilment of Roberto Baggio, so nearly sneaking in for a chance. And some really courageous goalkeeping by Luciani. Standing in, remember, for the injured Paliuca. Bonetti. Seems to be okay. That bash in the face from Baggio. Now Marocchi is going to come on for Juventus. 15 minutes to make an impact for Marocchi, I suppose we have to say now, former Italian international. Hasn't featured in the national team for some while. And Vialli has gone off.
That's a big plus for Des, because Des has basically been picking him up man for man, and off goes his player. And that gives the opportunity for David Platt to push up front. And hopefully we see him bursting through again.
And no Ravanelli then today for Juventus. They've used both their substitutes.
No, it's a shame. I quite like watching Ravanelli. He's an interesting character. 24 years of age, got a fantastic head of grey hair, and he really does look as if he enjoys his football.
Speaks highly of you too. Out by Manini. Invernizzi. This is Bonetti. Now Mancini. And Juve still not really able to put Sampdoria under any continuous pressure.
You have to press in packs. At the moment they're pressing as individuals, and that's no good, because as soon as the ball's played past you, you need a backup player. And they don't have that at the moment. They're pressing as individuals, and that will never happen. You'd always get picked off, especially when you have the talented players like we see here every week in the Italian football.
This is Marocchi, the substitute. Julio Cesar. Wanting some movement ahead of him. And he's found it from Merla. Till Manini got a foot in. Merla, who scored 10 goals in Serie A this season, so it's been a fair return for him. His first in the Italian top flight. And of course, David Platt has had a struggle to get into the side, with Merla doing well. And the two defenders, Julio Cesar and Jurgen Kohler. Dino Baggio. De Conte. Dino Baggio again. The support from Marocchi. Di Canio. Now Marocchi. Sampdoria really working hard to deny Juve any space. Di Canio. Pushed aside by Walker. And illegally, says the referee.
I think that was a case of Des just getting a little bit too tight on him. He's a very tricky cusser, Di Canio, but I don't think Des has to get ultra tight on him. Here we see he gets a little bit too tight and he spins it. Des would have got him, I think, in another couple of paces. He's extremely quick, Des, and in the finish he just brushes him aside.
Now, what might Baggio be able to conjure up here? Merla there too. Anxious time this for Sampdoria. Referee still not happy. He is now, and here's Baggio. Straight into that wall. And the free kick given to Sampdoria. Bonizzi.
I think he's taken it in the face, actually. I think he was in the wall, Peter, and I think the ball just smashed into him. He doesn't look in too pleasant a state down there, does he?
I think that's Mancini as well. So two players suffering for Sampdoria. And the crowd are suffering a bit because Juve haven't gone on from scoring the equaliser. I think they expected a lot more of their team in the second half once they had got back on level terms.
Yes, and quite rightly so, because at that time they were really pushing forward and looking a good outfit. Putting Sampdoria under a lot of pressure. When in possession and when not in possession of the ball, they were working really hard. And unfortunately, since that goal, they really have gone off the boil a little bit. I honestly feel if Baggio or Vialli aren't creating a lot for them, then at times Juventus do look a pretty average outfit. And I'm afraid that's happened towards the latter stages of the second half.
Well, that'll be a relief for Sampdoria to see Mancini at least back on his feet. I'm not sure he's quite ready to continue that. The referee also checking that. Yep, he's okay now. Mancini, 14 goals this season, his best ever return in Serie A.
He's all over the shop, Peter, I think. I don't think he's too happy at all. His legs seem to have gone to jelly. He must have taken it full on the face, or full in the face, I say.
So with 10 minutes to go, and clearly there is a major problem here for Mancini. I thought when he was back on his feet, he was going to be all right. Well, the free kick was hit with some venom by Baggio. And Mancini presumably took the full brunt of it. So Bertarelli will come on to replace Roberto Mancini. Mauro Bertarelli. Came from Ancona via Juventus. He was immediately included in the deal which took Vialli to Juve. Come on as a sub in the last 7 games now, Bertarelli. And let's hope that isn't too serious a problem for Roberto Mancini. Certainly a sad blow for Sampdoria, losing their tormentor-in-chief.
Yes, I think although he's not had one of his better games, he's always liable to create something. He's also got the ability to hold the ball up in the opponent's half and bring in his fellow players.
Di Canio, away from Vierkevoort, out by Walker. Really encouraging for Graham Taylor to see Walker playing so well at the back today.
Yes, that's right. He's looked a bit more like his old self, hasn't he? Very sharp. He didn't give Vialli a kick all afternoon, and that was lovely to see. But Vialli really has been in some good form of late. He had a good game in midweek, and it's a good performance from Des. It's also nice to see that David has popped up and got the equaliser for Juventus. That will be a great confidence booster for him, because it isn't very pleasant when you think. I think you said he started 14 games this season. Well, that isn't a lot, and I'm sure he'll be quite disappointed with the way the season's gone. But his goal tally's still been good. Whenever he's played, he's always popped up and given the goods, really, and full credit to him.
Another hold up. Bjerkevod, this time in the wars. And the game now clearly needs a lift. Maybe Platt can give it to Juve. No, he's lost out here to Jugovic. Now in Vonnizzi. Lombardo hoping to stretch Torricelli, and he's done so. Now it's a good service here, and that was an appalling cross by Lombardo.
Absolutely. You think he's playing on a bowling green. We all make mistakes, and we all make horrendous mistakes, but he's playing on a bowling green, Lombardo. He's got no one on him, and he puts that behind the goal without even making anyone do any defending whatsoever. That's pretty atrocious stuff. But getting back to the defensive side of it, there's any young kids out there watching. Torricelli again, he had the pace of Lombardo, but once he went to the floor, he was always going to be beaten and taken right out of the game. If he stands on his feet and runs with him, he's got half a chance of making the interception.
Marocchi. Carrera with Julio Cesar. Sampdoria quite happy to have everybody back behind the ball defending. Marocchi. Easy though for young Sacchetti. And in truth, it's been a pretty drab second half now. Bjerkevod to tidy up at the back for Sampdoria. And Juve's spirited start to the second period has really fizzled out.
Yes, and actually watching the way Sampdoria played with the sweeper, it may suit them to play with it on the odd occasion as well.
And here's Lombardo. Maybe they can sneak a victory. Good save by Purizzi. Excellent positioning by him. And, well, a good chance for Lombardo, which he has failed to take.
Yes, he's taken it too wide on his first touch. It's on his bad foot as it is, but he's taken it too wide on his first touch. But again, it was the run that he made. He's made several of those runs coming in from right to left, and he comes on the blind side of players, and that time he got it.
Marocchi. Penalty was impeded. Out by Sacchetti. Trapattoni urging his team on. Maybe felt they should have had a free kick there. The referee, after a long look, turned away. 5 minutes left. Juve 1, Sampdoria 1. Dino Baggio with Julio Cesar. Now Conte. Di Canio brought down by Sacchetti's challenge.
I can't really see where it's a foul. Di Canio looks as if he just turns into Sacchetti, and Sacchetti wins the ball. I can't really see how the referee can give that as a foul. It's atrocious to see.
Marocchi. Julio Cesar with Conte. All far too comfortable for Sampdoria to soak up. Jugovic. Sacchetti. Lombardo. Vettorelli going a lone furrow down the middle. Out by Platt, but only as far as Lana. Now Bonetti. Vettorelli making the run for him. Hounded by Carrera and Conte. News coming in of a very important goal in the San Siro. Inter were a goal up, but Foggia have now equalised, so it's Inter 1, Foggia 1. Brian Roy, the Dutchman, with a goal 3 minutes from time. So a real setback there for Inter in their desperate last hopes of catching Milan at the top. And it's Ancona 5, Pescara 3, the two relegated clubs down at the bottom, the Adriatic derby. A bit like QPR Chelsea, that one.
That's right. Just hope we get the 5.
Dino Baggio whistles now from the Juve fans. Rather disgruntled at what they've seen today, I think, after the elation of the UEFA Cup triumph. Juve certainly haven't turned it on this afternoon.
No, they haven't, and I think you've seen two sides here just grateful for a point apiece. Juventus after their exploits in midweek, Sampdoria a point to enhance their possibility of qualifying for UEFA, and the game really has fizzled out into a bit of a stalemate, really.
Pass from Roberto Baggio. We've hardly seen anything of him the last, what, 15-20 minutes, really.
No, he really has gone out of the game, Peter, that's right. As I said before, once his inventiveness goes, then you tend to wonder where it's going to come from on the Juventus side, and consequently they haven't really been the attacking force we expected them to be.
That was Baggio's pass. Berla trying to lay it off to David Platt, unsuccessfully though. Conte. Di Canio. Now what can Berla do here? The header flashing wide.
Fabulous cross from Merla, and Marocchi, I think it was, coming in on the back post. Merla only made half a yard, he didn't have to go past him, made half a yard, whips it in, great ball. As Marocchi arriving late, gets in a great position, but unfortunately his header's a mile over the top. Good run from Di Canio, breaking inside instead of outside this time, and then spotting the pass, or sticking it in the path of Muller to get the cross in.
Lombardo. Bertarelli. Almost at the end of the 90 minutes. Lombardo again. Sampdoria certainly very happy with a point. And it looks like they're going to get one.
They both look as if they can't wait, Peter, don't they, for that final whistle. It's been a long, hard week for Juventus, but Sampdoria defended well. It's been, I suppose, from Eriksen's point of view, a good experiment. He's played 5 at the back. He doesn't like doing it. Lana's looked very good as sweeper, and we've seen the growing confidence of Des Walker playing with Vieira as markers, and they've both done exceptionally well with Lana backing them up.
Sampdoria throw. Eventually, another hold-up. There have been quite a few delays in the second half, and it's not because of a second substitution to be made. On comes Serena, who's featured, I think, in every game this season, at some stage or other. Invernizzi has gone off. Serena with not too long to have a chance to shine.
They're just wasting up another couple of seconds, I think, Eriksen there with that substitution.
Julio Cesar. This is Conte. Good turn by Di Canio. Marocchi crowded out of it though. David Platt. Julio Cesar. We've had over a minute now of time added on for stoppages. Bonetti. Sad to say, it certainly hasn't been a very entertaining game. It's had its moments. But I think we feared the worst when we saw Sampdoria coming out with 5 at the back row.
Yes, that's right, and they went into an early lead as well, which they wanted to get something from the game, and I suppose tactically the game has turned out very nicely for Sampdoria. But from a spectator point of view, it hasn't been the greatest game in the world. We've seen some nice pieces of individual ability, but nothing to what we would have anticipated with the amount of talent that's on show. And there it is, the game's ended a 1-1 draw.
The final whistle blown. It's Juventus 1, Sampdoria 1. A lot of whistles around the stadium. Trapattoni leaves the field. Well, no doubt relieved they've at least come back in the second half, his team, to get a point. But that's all they could manage. As we look back on the two goals.